Yan. So in this video, we'll be learning about the cash flow statement. It is one of the four financial statements na issued by accountants na yung iba doon yung balance sheet, yung statement of changes in equity, income statement, at ngayon, statement of cash flows na tayo. So, let's start by answering this set of questions na hanggang number 33 na nakuha natin sa accountingcoach.com. So, bura natin yung mga sagot natin. Yan, start over tayo. So, here number 1. Depreciation expense. So the instructions is, there are 4 parts of the statement of cash flows: the operating activities, investing activities, financing activities, and supplemental disclosures. So for each of the following items, indicate which part will be affected. Depreciation expense is affected in operating activities. So how do we know if it is under operating activities, investing activities, investing or financing activities? By the rule of thumb, operating activities are cash transactions that affects the net income. For example, payment of prepaid or and that affects current and current liabilities. And depreciation expense is added back to the net income to reconcile, diba? To find the cash provided by operating activities. Yan. Furthermore, investing activities affects the long-term assets, diba? For example, purchase or sale of equipment, of land. Financing, on the other hand, is the cash proceeds when issuing a liability or equity, or the payment of liability or equity. A long-term liability, take note, long-term liability. So let's proceed here. Number 2, proceeds from the sale of equipment used in business. So the answer here would be investing. The loss on sale of equipment, take note of the loss. It is an income statement account. It is operating. And the declaration and payment of dividends, it is an equity. Affecting the equity, it is financing. Number 5, the gain on the sale of automobile formerly used in business, gain, is operating. Number 6, the proceeds from the sale of automobile. So the meaning of proceeds is the cash received. And so it is the investing. Number 7, the increase in the balance in the retailer's merchandise inventory. So, ano natin, sagot natin dito. Yan. Ano siya? Current asset. So, operating siya. Number 8, increase in accounts payable. Again, current siya. So, operating. Number 9, the retirement of long-term bonds payable. So, ano siya? Long-term liability. So, financing. Number 10, the purchase of treasury stock. It is financing since it involves the equity. Number 11, the purchase of a new delivery truck to be used in business. Yan. Ano siya? Long-term asset. So, investing. Number 12, the decrease in accounts of AR. It is a current account. It is operating. Number 13, an increase in bonds payable. It is financing since it is a long-term liability. Number 14, a decrease in account asset, prepaid insurance. It is operating. Current asset siya. Number 15, a decrease in current liability, operating. Okay, yan pa. Dami pa. Number 16, the proceeds from issuing common stock. It is financing. Equity yung common stock. Diba? Also issuing additional preferred stock. Ano siya? Financing. So number 17, the amortization of the cost of intangible asset. What is amortization? It is similar to depreciation. However, it affects intangible assets such as licenses, royalties. Yan. So ano siya? Operating. Number 18, it is the exchange or conversion of long-term bonds into common stock. So we have no cash transaction here kasi ito yung journal entries niyan. In exchange of long-term bonds into common stock. So we got a common stock here. Tapos we debit the long-term bonds. For example, the amount is 10,000. We can see that there is no cash involved. So it is not included in the statement of cash flows. So it is a supplemental information. And so let's proceed to number 19 to 30. So what would be the effect on cash? Positive effect or negative effect? The increase in prepaid insurance, it would be negative. And so how do we know if it is negative or positive, if it is added or deducted? Yan. Positive means added. If it is depreciation, amortization, loss and expenses, it is added. If it is gains and revenues, it is deducted. Moreover, an increase in, let's find the, okay, going back here, let's copy this as a guide. Let's use this as a guide. So all increase in assets would mean a decrease in assets or decrease in cash. Moreover, all increases in liabilities would increase in cash. So that would be our rule in thumb. Diba? To make it balance, diba? When an prepaid insurance increase, example 10,000, then its corresponding cash would decrease to make it balance. Then it would be negative. Yeah? So that would be our rule of thumb. We cannot have both assets both increasing. If one asset is increasing, then one asset would be decreasing, which is cash. So let's proceed here. Number 20, decrease in supplies means an increase in cash. A proceeds from the sale of equipment, it means that equipment is going out, so cash is going in. Positive. 22, a loss on the sale of equipment, again, all losses is added back. Number 23, an increase in current liability. Okay, an increase in credit would means an increase in debit. So positive. And 24, a decrease in accounts payable. So when there's a credit, and what is a decrease in payable? It is a debit. And let's see, accounts payable of here, for example, 50,000. So the corresponding amount would be cash of 50. And so decreasing or negative. Let's put negative. And 25, the increase in accounts receivable, again, tumataas yung asset natin, so dapat may katumbas na pagbaba ng asset. So negative. 26, an increase in liability. Pag tumaas yung liability, dapat tataasin asset para balance. Yan. So dividends declared and paid. Yan. Dividends is the promise to pay the owners or stockholders a sum of cash or property, diba? In exchange of them of issuing stocks. Ano, bumili ka ng stock ng Jollibee. So in return, makakuha ka ng dividends. So the company is paying out cash, so it is negative. And going out cash. And 98, the proceeds from issuance of preferred stock. It's positive. Bakit? Yung journal entry nun, cash is going in and equity account of preferred stock is going in of 50 again. And take note that preferred stock is an equity account. 29, the gain on sale of equipment formerly used in business is, all gain is deducted, negative. And 13, an increase in long-term debt assets investment in another company, is a negative. And number 31, let's compute. This is a problem, sample problem. For the recent year, corporation's financial statements reported the following. 100,000 of net income, okay. Depreciation, we add back depreciation of 100,000. Increase in AR is a decrease in asset. And a decrease in AP is a decrease in asset or decrease in cash. So yan, we end up of 65. Correct? 65. And last two numbers. Number 32, net income of 200. Okay, we add back depreciation. And then we minus the gain. Gain is deducted. And we add the decrease in accounts receivable of 100,000. And why did we not include 8,000? Because proceeds from a sale of stock is a investing activities, and here we are required to find the operating activity. So the answer is 235. And the last number, what is reported under investing activities? Again, it is from the proceeds from the sale of truck. It is 8,000. And so here ends the video. Just to end my video, the rule on thumb here, para lang madaling matandaan, ito lang. Yan. Pag nababawasan yung asset, syempre that may katumbas din asset na nadagdagan. Parang ganito, pag asset ay nababawasan, that may katumbas na asset na nadagdagan. So ganun lang yun, para makita natin kung positive or negative. So yun. So I will end this video now, and God bless everyone.